This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Oh, here it is, and that's a little too loud. Hi, everybody. It is the After Party Live on a Hide in Your Cave Monday. Extra application of lipstick for the second show of the day. And away we go. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for hanging out. Didn't get Noel Fidian, I see you in the chat. I hope Kim didn't forget to push the on button. No, just a strange transition in between shows. Yeah, thank you for being here. I know it's stressful what's happening in the world right now, and that is why we're just going to chill out. We have a lot to talk about today, a lot of things to look at. And one of the things I wanted to remind you about that we did talk about on the Mark Thompson show last week is the total lunar eclipse, the blood moon eclipse, something that is happening tonight. And so as you try to turn your attention toward maybe some things that are interesting, but also not as horrifying in the world, this, I think, is something we can all get behind. This is happening, you guys, and it's happening tonight. And it is the last one for, I think, another 3 years is what I was reading. It is the only blood moon of 2026. And I have details about how you can see it. So this is a total lunar eclipse, which is what happens when the sun, the earth, and the moon align perfectly, and the moon passes into the shadow of the earth. So the earth is then preventing sunlight from reaching the moon. This eclipsed moon, it is always going to be full. A lunar eclipse does not happen every time a full moon occurs. We know that. The moon's orbit slightly tilted compared to the plane in which Earth orbits the sun. So when they line up, it's pretty special. When the moon reaches one of the 2 points in this orbit where it lines up exactly with the sun and the earth, either a solar or lunar eclipse will occur. With a total lunar eclipse, the moon appears dark red or orange, that according to NASA. So the earth blocks most of the sun's light from reaching the moon, and any light that does reach the moon's surface is filtered through a thick slice of the earth's atmosphere. They say, according to NASA, it's as if all of the world's sunrises and sunsets are projected right onto the moon. You don't need any special equipment to see this. All you need is a line of sight to the moon. So if it's cloudy or foggy, you're out of luck. But if it isn't, it's going to be a good show. They do say for a more dramatic viewing experience, head to a place where you're far from bright lights. Also, your binoculars, your telescope could, enhance your experience here. The totality will be visible on Tuesday in the evening from Eastern Asia and Australia through the night in the Pacific, and then the early morning in North and Central America, and then far west South America. There will be a partial eclipse that will be visible in Central Asia and much of South America, and you won't be able to see it at all if you're in Africa or if you're in Europe. But if you're in California this time around, you got some luck going for you here. So here's how it is, and this is all in Pacific time. 12:44 a.m., the penumbral eclipse begins. The moon begins to dim as it enters Earth's outer shadow. 1:50 a.m., the partial eclipse begins. To the naked eye, a bite appears on the moon. 3:04 a.m. Pacific time, totality begins. The entire moon is in the Earth's umbra, and it appears to turn dark red or orange. And by 4:03, totality ends, and the red coloring of the moon begins to fade. At 5:17 a.m., the partial eclipse ends, the moon begins to dim, and by 6:23 tomorrow morning, the whole thing is going to be over. And NASA says this is the only total lunar eclipse anywhere in the world in 2026. And after this eclipse, there will not be another blood moon until late 2028. So it's not like your chance is gone forever. But if you want to stay up till 3 a.m. to check it out, Pacific time, tonight is the night. I'll be up. I'm gonna go look. I don't think I'm gonna wake Jacob up, but I think for most people they'll see pictures of it tomorrow on the internet, on Facebook, whatever. But it's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna be cool. Go into the chat. Are you gonna be up? Are you gonna do it? What do you think? I'm looking at the chat. Mama. Yeah, Mama's birthday was last week, right? Absolutely. Let's see. Let's see what you got. Magellan, says Nullifidian, said the shadow of the earth on the moon is round and he'd rather trust a shadow than the church. Smart thinking even back then. Tammy says so around midnight for her. Yeah. No, Phineas talking about the song Total Eclipse of the Heart. Very fun. Looks like Mama, somebody threw you a birthday party. That is awesome. My husband threw me a birthday party for my birthday this weekend, got me my very first piñata ever. That is so sweet. You say you didn't have parties growing up? That's awesome. I'm so glad you had a good birthday. That's so much fun. I'm sure the kids had a blast at that as well. All right. Well, here's your homework. Your after party live homework is to take pictures. If you do get up at 3 in the morning or stay awake until 3 in the morning to take photos of this total lunar eclipse, send me the video or the video, the photo, the whatever it is that you take. Kim at the afterparty.live is the email address. And I'll show it tomorrow. Kim at the afterparty.live. I want to see what you saw from where you are. So we can share it together, share the experience together. Make sure in your email you write where you are. Even you don't have to write the town, you just write the state or, what region you're in, what have you. If you want to keep it more anonymous, you don't have to write, I'm in Petaluma like me. You can write wherever you are. You tell me the region, the general area, and I will show it. And hopefully we'll get a little collection going and be able to have different pictures from around the country. Kim at the afterparty.live is the email address, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you see wherever you are. Again, 3 in the morning. So I know a lot of you will be asleep. That's okay. Wes says the max eclipse is at 6:33 a.m. in Florida. You and Julia will be watching it together out there. Let's see. I don't know how to send pictures, Nullifidian writes. Well, I can teach you if you want. You take the picture on your phone. I think you might. Do you have a phone, like a smartphone? And then you click the share button, which looks like a little square with an arrow. And it will say, do you want to text it? Do you want to email it? Do you want to post it? You click email it and put in my email address. That should be pretty easy, right? Yeah. I'll be sawing logs, says Heather. I have to catch everyone else's pics the next day. See, and that's part of the fun. We'll have them all here for you, hopefully. Yeah. All right. Okay, we'll move on to the next story, but I'm pretty excited about that one. Did you hear that there is a Star Wars store in San Francisco, and it has become something of a tourist destination already? The story comes from SF Gate, and so does this picture. It's called the Skywalker Ranch General Store, and it's got collectibles and books and wine and something else I thought was hilarious. This is kind of a merging of two kitschy, nerdy things together. Star Wars tiki mugs. How cute are those? You like a little kitschy tiki culture and you like your Star Wars culture. You kind of blend them together. There you go. They have the tiki mugs over there at the Star Wars store, or as it's called, the Skywalker Ranch General Store. This new gift shop is now at Lucasfilm's Presidio headquarters. Pretty cool. And a lot of people are loving it. Tourists are making their way there just to check out the store. Used to be you could go to the Presidio, to Skywalker Sound, and the Presidio headquarters, Lucasfilm's headquarters in the Presidio, and take your picture with the giant Yoda statue out front. And that was kind of the pilgrimage to Lucasfilm's Presidio installation. You get your picture taken there, and that was it. Now they've got the stores. They're capitalizing on the fact that everyone was coming to get their picture taken with the statue anyway. Might as well sell them some stuff as well, right? The Yoda fountain. Yeah. So now this has a lot of pricey things in it, but a lot of fun things too. There's a $2,000 replica of a Darth Vader helmet. There's a room full of wine grapes or wine from grapes grown out at Skywalker Ranch in Marin. They have it's actually not so bad, $30 for a bottle of Skywalker Ranch wine, right? I mean, maybe more than you want to spend, but I don't know. They have a lot of things. They said they had according to SF Gate, there was a Japanese tourist that brought in a rolling suitcase to take back a case of wine. So some people are even saying this gift shop is the whole reason they came to San Francisco. It has Skywalker Ranch branded clothing that is now available to the public for the very first time. You can get hats and button-down shirts, patches, Star Wars bomber jackets. The Indiana Jones pieces are there as well. You can get a replica Indiana Jones hat and leather jacket. Which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this show the other day when I was talking to Tim Sika, or when we were talking to Tim Sika, and it's called Shrinked. It's on Apple TV. Really, really good show, and it's got Harrison Ford in it. And I don't say like season 3, I don't know which episode, but he walks into the kitchen of this psychiatric practice and he's humming dun 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 dun. It's just a funny throwback to some, iconic role that he did. I thought that was really funny. So yeah, they have Indiana Jones jackets and indie hats and all kinds of things. They're not cheap, these things, but all of this in here. They have Mandalorian and Grogu wooden figurines, and again, a Millennium Falcon shaped waffle iron. Oh, it is crazy stuff in this store, but super popular as well, because a lot of these things you can't really find anywhere else. They, according to SF Gate, say that the most impressive wares are hidden in a back room filled with high-priced collectibles, like that Darth Vader helmet. Replica lightsabers are hot items. The Grogu collectibles go for as much as $445. There's crystal figurines created by Swarovski. There's an X-Wing spaceship made from 774 crystal facets for $550. So if you're a collector and that's your jam, or even if you just want to go look and see things, and we're close to it here in the Bay Area, so I thought that might be fun. So that is called the Skywalker Ranch General Store, and that is in the Presidio. So now you can get your picture taken at the Yoda fountain and buy a little something, or at least do a little shopping. There you have it. How about some archaeology on a Monday? Love that. This is a mystery stone, and they now think they know what it is. That perhaps it's part of an ancient Roman board game. They actually figured out what the rules of this ancient game were using AI. That's right. The Ludus Lantroncolorum, they also call it for short Latrones, was a strategy face-off game between two players on a grid board, kind of like chess or checkers. But this game saw players compete on a backgammon-like setup that also involved dice. There's an international research team that is very confident that they can add this to the list of Roman board games that we know about. They've done a study, published it in the journal Antiquity, and they have solved a mystery that archaeologists have been looking into for about 40 years. Because in 1984, has it been 40 years since then? Stop it. Researchers excavated the ancient settlement of Coriovalum in the Netherlands, near the present-day German border. This town was founded during the reign of Augustus, It's one of the region's only outposts specifically named in primary sources. Coriovalum, also strategically placed at this nexus of two principal roadways for the Roman Empire. So that meant they had a level of economic prosperity for centuries. They know this because of the architecture they found and the ornate burial plots that are in this area. And during the excavation work on those things, they discovered this oval stone. It's about 8.3 by 5.7 inches in diameter. You can see from the picture on the screen, it's got various intersecting lines. They think it's a white Jurassic limestone sourced from ancient quarries in northeastern France called Norroy limestone. And it was a popular architectural element at the time in Roman northern provinces because it was a white color, smooth surface, relatively soft, so you could sculpt it like marble. Is a good substitute for marble. So for years, they wondered about the purpose of this stone with these markings. They said it's too small to be intended as some kind of component for a building, and the shape of it wasn't suitable for road work, but the lines could represent some form of architectural sketch. They just didn't know. Some said, no, this is a board game surface. And recent analysis now appears to support the board game theory. They did some 3D imaging of this thing, and it revealed some of the diagonal and horizontal lines are deeper than others, which indicates that people were maybe routinely moving tiny pieces along these routes more often than others. There are wear lines along the stone exactly where you would slide a piece, according to an archaeologist with Leiden University. But if it was a board game, they wondered, then what are the rules? So they enlisted some help from machine learning programmers at Maastricht University in the Netherlands. They designed this AI system trained on rules from about 100 ancient games documented from the same region as the stone's origin. The AI program, called Ludi, Ludi, Latin for games, calculated a number of optional playing styles for the mystery pastime that, again, they had named Ludus Coriovali is the name of this game. And Ludi, the AI program, produced dozens of possible rules, and then it played the game against itself and identified a few variants enjoyable for humans to play. So then the researchers double-checked the potential rule sets against the documented wear on the stone to confirm the most likely move patterns in this game. They think that it was a very simple but thrilling strategy game, the goal of which would have been to pursue and trap your opponent's pieces in as few moves as possible. And that, they say, is really the most plausible explanation behind this limestone artifact. They said if you present the AI version of Ludi with a line pattern like the one on the stone, it will always find game rules. So they said, therefore, we can't be sure that the Romans played it in precisely that way. But like any great board game, it's important to consider all options. Well, there it is. Finally, they know. And they think they know because of AI. Something else found recently, 35 forgotten Rembrandt etchings. This woman's grandpa acquired these works of art between the year 1900 and 1920. And there they sat in a drawer, forgotten about, until the pandemic happened. And this woman named Charlotte Meyer, she's Dutch, she started sorting through the clutter in her house. A lot of us did that, right? I guess we've got time to clean up now. And that's how she passed the time during the pandemic. She just started organizing, cleaning, and decides to go through this drawer of heirlooms that had gone untouched for years. When he died, her grandfather, when he died, he left her a folder of prints that had been in the family for about a century. And she says when she opened the folder, she found 35 etchings created by Rembrandt, whose 17th century paintings and prints we know are some of the greatest in the Western world. She said it's a beautiful story, one you can only dream about. Nobody was interested in the etchings way back then. They were nothing special. For just a few guilders, she said, my grandfather bought 35 different ones. This one you're looking at now. Here's another one. Oh, those look pretty special to me. Yeah, that's we're looking at the Pancake Woman, circa 1635. So she said her grandfather collected these etchings between 1900 and 1920, and they're pretty small, some measuring only a few centimeters in length. And at first she thought, I don't know if these are really by Rembrandt. And so she thought, I don't really want to go ask someone, but so she set them aside for a while and then finally called experts who came to her house, went through the etchings, which, by the way, because they were set aside for all this time, are in excellent condition. And they said, Charlotte, you've got no idea what you have here. So now she spent time, she got into it, doubling her collection of etchings by Rembrandt. Beginning in March, more than 70 of these works, including the 35 of etchings from her grandfather, go on view for the first time in decades at this museum, the Stedelijk Museum Zutphen, as part of a new exhibition called Rembrandt from Dark to Light. And she will be leading a guided tour of the show with a focus on the symbolisms of Rembrandt's etchings. She is not talking about the monetary value of her collection, but apparently there's been some recent sales of these etchings, and there's a big demand for these etchings. There was one that was done in 1656 by Rembrandt, and it sold at Christie's auction house last year for about $4.1 million. And that was the highest ever auction price for an old master print. So she's sitting on some money over there. Pretty exciting. The interesting thing is she's not the only person who stumbled onto a Rembrandt in an overlooked drawer, because just last November, I think we talked about it on the show, there was a man who discovered a preparatory print of a Rembrandt in his late father's office as well. So pretty exciting. And now again, going up on the wall for the world to see once again. Shall we do the lotto of the day? I think we should. This one out of Michigan. Sue was going out for a pizza, running out for a pizza for her family on her lunch, or on her lunch break, I should say. She is from Shelby Township, Michigan, 65-year-old lady, Sue. She was picking up pizza on her lunch break and dipped into the Party Palace liquor store in Shelby Township for a Club Keno ticket. She said, I regularly play Club Keno. I always add the jack to my ticket. I went out and I bought a Club Keno ticket and a pizza on my lunch break, and then I watched the drawing on my phone as I ate. And when I saw all the jack numbers come in and the jackpot reset to 10,000, I was shocked. She said it was nerve-wracking and exciting, and I've hardly slept since. She wins $822,159. It's an odd little number, but I'll take it. 822 grand. And it's a new record for a Club Keno, the Jack. Previous record was 677,000. What will she do with all of her moolah? She says she's going to pay bills, share some with family, and give a big, big boost to her savings. So as prices go up, a lot of us are dipping into the savings. If you don't have savings, then, it's been a troubling time. I wanted to make sure that you saw this. This happened last week. And thank goodness that there were people that were quick thinkers, but this happened on a ski lift in California. And take a look at this, because the skier in the middle kind of drops down and starts dangling and is only saved because of the quick thinking of the people on either side who reach over, grab her, and hold her until they come into, where you get off the ski lift. Take a look.
Hanging off a ski lift with two people holding her by her arms. The video was posted yesterday. So far, it's been viewed by more than 8 million people. It appears the skier made it to the unloading area unscathed thanks to her two ski lift buddies. And we've reached out to the resort for any more details.
Yeah. But pretty scary situation right there for that skier. Sorry, I want to be small today. Some days it's just a small day. You know what I mean? So that's pretty harrowing. This happened at Big Bear Mountain in California, and the people on either side of the skier happened to be her sister and her friend. She's 21. Her name is Rula. She's riding on that ski lift at Big Bear Mountain Resort with her twin sister and a friend when she slipped out of her seat, and they grabbed her by her arms and kept her from falling until the lift gets back into the top of the hill where you get off. And then the ski patrol members were able to help. She said it was terrifying. She said, my body was in so much pain. I was so scared. I looked down. I kept seeing my death. She said, I was watching each of the chairs come over the hill. That lift starts down the hill. This is one of a fellow skier said, the girl could have been hanging way longer than it looks like in the video. The good thing is nobody was seriously injured in this incident. She said, I love my sister and my friend, and I'm so thankful they saved me. Big Bear Mountain officials saying the incident was the result of proper safety protocols not being followed in this incident. So, yeah, pretty scary situation though. I mean, let's look at it again, because yikes. I'll have to share it with you. That's pretty dangly. I don't know. Here it is. Wait, I think I have it. Do I have it? No. Might not be able to show it. Here it is.
We're hearing from the woman at the...
Yeah, you can see here. And she's just dangling. Thank God they're able to grab her arms and save her. That's just a wow, though. And there she goes. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you ski down the mountain after that harrowing experience. And there they are.
So much pain.
We caught up with 21-year-old Rula de Miranda and her twin sister Raisel after that terrifying moment on Tuesday on Bear Mountain.
I was so scared.
The twins and their friend drove up to Big Bear for the day, but it was on their third run on Chair 9 that Raisel says she tried to do a pull-up as they were going up. Her sister sliding off the chair, trying to do the same.
And then accidentally slipped, and she ended up really falling. And I was like, oh my God, bro. My friend was literally screaming at her in the video, stop wiggling, stop wiggling. And she was like in full panic mode. Hold me up! And then I ripped my gloves off. They were both in my mouth. And I was just like fighting down and holding onto her with both hands because she was just like starting to freak out and like shake. And I was like,
Apparently we got up to 156 feet.
But they were, pretty high up and far away. And
Pierce Mayer was on the other side of the lift and says he couldn't believe what was happening.
And I was watching each of the chairs come over the hill because that lift actually starts way further down the hill. So the girl could have been hanging there for way longer than it looks like in the video.
The ski resort staff says it happened just before 3 in the afternoon when de Miranda failed to maintain proper safety protocols and became suspended from the carrier. The twins posting about what happened on social media, where you can see the moment when Rula was able to safely jump off.
It was one of the most scariest things. I looked down and I just see my death. I love my sister. I love my friend. I am so thankful that they saved me.
Christian Cáceres, NBC4 News.
I don't know how they got such good video of that unless someone was wearing like a GoPro on their helmet, because as you're grabbing someone's arms to keep them on the ski lift, I don't know how you have the presence of mind to grab your phone, hold it out like a selfie, and film the entire incident. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't know. It's very interesting. Okay, so I did want to show you this story as well before we throw in some caves to round up the show. There is, I think we've mentioned this before, the idea of microchipping employees or humans. And it's, we saw that at the end of Mark's show talking about Anthropic and OpenAI and the CEO of Anthropic saying the laws have not caught up with the technology yet. And that's kind of reminded me of this story as well. The state of Washington, which I think other states might need to do as well, is moving to ban forced employee microchips. They say maybe this isn't going on yet, but it's rarely a bad idea to prepare for a worst case scenario here. The the bill was introduced earlier this year by Congresswoman Breonna Thomas and Lisa Parsley. They say that it would explicitly prevent or ban businesses. They would not be able to request, require, or coerce any employee to have a microchip implanted in the employee for any reason. So the bill has passed through the House and a Senate committee with bipartisan support, 2 committees, not the House yet. And now it's on its way to becoming law. This again, in the state of Washington, not on a federal level. The subdermal microchips have been useful in tracking pets, lost pets, right? We know that. The folks in the medical profession say they can provide critical patient information in different medical situations as well. But neither of those types of microchip use are really affected by this law. Pressuring workers to get chipped would be likely illegal on numerous grounds, but they say it never hurts to get something on the books. Now, there are reports of people volunteering to be microchipped. They said we don't want to have to try to clean up an impossible mess after it's too late, so we're getting ahead of this problem. It's called HB 2303 in Washington State. Currently states hypothetical corporate violators would receive a minimum fine of $10,000 for the first offense, followed by $20,000 charges for each additional infraction of forcing their employees to be microchipped. Would you allow yourself to be microchipped by your employer? And what's the scenario under which that might even be helpful? I mean, maybe if you're carrying around top secret information as a government employee, or maybe they would chip you if, like Amazon, they want to make sure you are where you're supposed to be, that you're moving, fast, that you're moving quickly enough, that you're not lollygagging. I don't, it seems rather extreme, but perhaps that would be a good use. If you were a company. Nullifidian writes, how long before prisoners get subdural tracking chips? This is very futuristic. It's like the future just arrived all in one plop. What the sizzle? Pull a Trump, you can microchip me for 1 million, no problem. $1 million. What the sizzle? Will take a cool mill, and she'll roll around with that microchip. Heather says it's not happening. If it is not something that's for my health, like a vaccine, I'm not letting anyone or anything break my skin. 100%. Yes, absolutely not. No. Or Vanessa says, people applying for visas. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Microchipping immigrants. I wouldn't put it past the folks, the powers that be. I know we don't talk politics, so I'll just leave it there. Mama says, no, absolutely not. I would not work for any company that does this. No. RFID, no more time cards. Oh, God. That's true, huh? Wes says many people are and don't even know it. Really? Cardiac devices, cochlear implants all have serial numbers assigned to them that point to who has it. And the microchip is the same. It has a number to a database. Okay, but and explain this to me, Wes, because I was thinking if you have a device, because I used to watch CSI, and they can take your hip implant or your whatever medical device you have in you, and they do have a serial number on it, which can then be used to track down your identity. But there's no radiating beacon that tells people where you are in real time, right? There's just a number on something inside of you. But there's no, I don't know, tracker that shows, you driving down Highway 101 or wherever you may be in the world. Right? I don't think they do that. I mean, maybe they do that. Maybe they're exploring with technology we don't know. Yeah. Wes says it's they all have serial numbers assigned to them that point to who has it. The microchip is the same, a number in a database. I don't know. Just talking about numbers, they did it with Nazis did it with tattoos. Right, but again, this with it being electronic technology and tracking in real time, it just scares me. Nullifidian says China has driverless flying taxis now, and they're not just prototypes. They've had 40,000 flights already. Yeah, well, we've seen it in the Bay Area. They're testing the prototypes, and they're testing it in New York as well. So we're not far behind. Absolutely. Is that true for other kinds of implants? Like what, breast implants? Wes says, depends. Your phone already has all that. That's true. They could just track you by your phone, right? Oh. What the sizzle. Yeah, it is coming. It is all coming. We're insane. Hooray, says Mod. We are. Absolutely. Yeah, they could track you, says Phineas, by your phone, by your car, all these things. So why worry then about a little implant? Just put your hand out and willingly accept it. Nope. The cardiac device, says Harry, can be controlled via Bluetooth on your phone. That's one of the ways they're looking for Guthrie. Oh, yeah, that's right. Really interesting. Thanks for that, Harry. I wonder what happened to her. Isn't that the craziest story? So sad and strange. Maud says we can get zapped by Lex Luthor's easier. Phineas talking about license plate car readers tracking you as well. Yeah. Hang on, says Heather. I need to make a call on my Samsung Teleboob implant. Oh, that's crazy. And so it's so wild that you say that because it's so weird, but also somewhat plausible in a way. Not one of my cars. Old times, 1977 Miata. No computers are in there, says Yvonne. Absolutely. Speaking of Yvonne, I have to tell you, I am so sorry. When Julia comes back from Tampa, Florida, I'm going to have her redo our end credits at the end of the show. I will completely update it because Yvonne has been kind enough to contribute to the After Party Live for more than a year and has not appeared at the end in the end screen. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to update everything. And again, thank you to everyone who contributes to the show. It doesn't really change very much, but Yvonne happened to slide in right after we revamped the video. So we'll change it and we'll get it right and we'll make it accurate. Thank you, Yvonne. And I'm so sorry to have taken so long to get our act together over here, my act together, and revamp it and make it accurate. So that is the next thing on my to-do list. And I will make my children help me because they know how. Wes throwing in $5 today. Thank you, Wes. Really appreciate that. Recurring PayPal payment from Linda G, from Donald S, from Kathleen G, from Harold H. Those are the most recent contributions to the After Party Live. So appreciate all the help. Really. Honestly, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Got some wonderful emails from Yvonne, from Julie, from Teacher Lori with great story ideas. So thank you for helping that way as well. Really appreciate it. Yvonne, so kind. So kind. No worries. We're going to get it fixed up. Yeah. Julia was near CENTCOM. Oh yeah, I guess she was. Well, she's in Tampa. So I don't know. I don't know my Florida geography, how far that is from CENTCOM with the thin black curtains. All right, it is time for Hide in Your Cave Monday. We're doing it. And I do have some caves to show you today. We are going to Europe because some of the most amazing caves in the world, some of the most, they call them splendid caves in the world, surreal, are like a magical dream in Europe. This is the first one. It's called the Bisevo Cave. It is in Croatia, kind of a glowing cave that looks magical. It's the Blue Cave. It's a short distance from the Croatian coast on the island of Bisevo. It's a gorgeous natural cave getting its name from the blue glow of the water, which is caused by sunlight slipping in through an underground opening. Became a really popular tourist attraction in the late 1800s when the cave opening was made large enough for small boats to enter. And it's recommended to visit the Blue Cave during summer season between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. because that is when the glow is at its brightest during that time of the day. Now we're off to France, and these are the I think the 7 best caves in Europe. And here we go. Look at that. This is the Geoffroy Berger or Berger in France, once known as the deepest, most dangerous cave in the world. The Geoffroy Berger, as we say in America, is now a major tourist attraction because it is so deep. It's in Vercors in the southeast region of France, first discovered in 1953 with a depth of more than 1,000 meters. So if you like to have a little adrenaline rush, go down, take a look at the bottom. There are lakes and waterfalls in there with crystal clear water. They say you can visit this cave at any time of the year, but you have to be an expert in climbing to explore the depth of this cave. Otherwise, you're just going to look right down into it. Yeah. I don't know if we have been here before, but there are more blue caves to talk about, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Even if we've explored it before, the picture is so pretty that why not look at it again? This time we head from France to lovely Zakynthos, Greece. And they say these blue caves are perfect for people that want to go check out the caves that have families. Here's a picture of the blue cave in Zakynthos, Greece. Pretty cool. These are above earth. They can be seen from the waters, accessible via boat, and it's very relaxing. Kick back on the boat as you enter this soothing environment, which apparently will help you find peace within yourself. This is in the Skinari region, toward the north of the island, one of the most famous caves in Europe. They say summer is the best time to explore the Zakynthos blue caves, but sure is pretty. I would not mind going to see that. Wow. Look at that picture. You imagine us all on that little boat right out there, heading our way, heading into the cave. Yeah, pretty cool. Next one, we're going to Slovenia. This is the 4th cave on the list. There's some snow in there. It's called the Postojinska Jama cave. It is known as one of the best caves in Europe. It's an immense natural formation with a magnificent appearance, 21 kilometers of passages containing huge galleries and halls. First visited in 1819. The folks at Travel Triangle say this has become one of the most famous attractions in Slovenia. You can visit this cave at any time of the year. And if you're lucky, you might see an olm, O-L-M, olm, which is a small salamander said to be the offspring of dragons. Okay, that's cool. I want to see an Ulm. We head from Slovakia now to Spain. We might have seen this one before, but it's number 5 on the list of the best caves in Europe. It is Cuevas del Drac in Spain, and it is on the island of Mallorca. Here's a picture of Cuevas del Drac. Look at that. Incredible. This is a mesmerizing cave. Looks like something out of a dream. Huge system of 4 large caves that were discovered in 1338. Each of these caves has their own name, like the cave of Luis Salvador, the cave of the French, the Black Cave, the White Cave. So you can enjoy a fantastic time with your friends and family in the heavenly, gorgeous cave. Really cool. Cuevas del Drac on the island of Mallorca. I don't think we've been to that one before, but it sure is cool. Wow. All right. Well, from there we head to the Canary Islands and the magnificent Green Caves. These are spectacular. This is number 6 on the list of the best caves in Europe. Again, it's the Green Caves of the Canary Islands. Completely different than this. We go from all the stalactites and stalagmites to, look at that. You can see some of the geological features hanging down. It's also, in addition to being known as the Green Cave, called Cueva de los Verdes in Espanol. The Green Cave, one of the most beautiful caves in Europe, located on the island of Lanzarote, formed 3,000 years back by an underground lava flow for which the volcanic islands are popular. There is a light green glow in the walls because of the volcanic materials that are present in the walls. The glow also reflects in the water beneath. They say it is an absolutely must visit, a surreal place to visit. There's a large concert hall within this cave, which they say is truly one of the best places to explore. The Green Cave in the Canary Islands. How cool is that? Imagine going in there to see a concert. Wow. And we're sticking with colors for a minute because now we go to we had the blue caves of Zakynthos. Now we go to the blue grotto. And there it is in Malta. The Blue Grotto in Malta, undoubtedly one of the best caves in Europe. The reason you can enjoy exciting activities here like snorkeling, rock climbing, it's on the southern coast of Malta, very popular tourist attraction, mainly because it has a blue glow in the water caused by the sunlight shining through the entrance. So you can take a fun boat tour to the cave networks, and you can also do some exciting sports in there. They recommend visiting the Blue Grotto during the summer so you can get the best of the glowing reflection. And those are the 7 surreal caves in Europe, which are called no less than a magical dream. I'll go through them one more time. We've got 7. Bisevo in Croatia. Joffre Berger in France. Blue Caves, Zakynthos. I don't know how to say this one very well. Postojinska Jama in Slovenia. Cuevas del Drac in Spain. The Green Caves of the Canary Islands. And the Blue Grotto in Malta. Are you more relaxed now? Because I kind of am. Sure, I'll hide in any of those. And that is Hide in Your Cave Monday. I hope you enjoyed the caves. Phineas says the most blue water I've ever seen is a tie between Fiji and Akima. Beautiful turquoise water, says Nullifidian. Mindy says that water is so blue. Are those roots hanging down? I don't think so. I mean, perhaps. You're talking about the Green Cave, right? Because you can see the greenery up above. Perhaps. I don't know. Maybe some are stalactites and some are roots. Maybe it's a combo. I don't know. Cool looking though. I'll say that. Yeah. Well, we have come to the end of our show. What sports? Water polo? Probably spelunking. I don't know. Maybe you could swim through the water caves. Tammy feels better now. Thank you. My work here is through. I will live upside down on the ceiling of the blue cave forever, says Zero Sum. Lovely. Yes. Zero Sum says, I'll cling to the bottom of the tour boat until I'm believed lost at sea, and when the time is right, slither off to a deserted part of the island and live happily ever after. Oh. I saw another, I wanted to, oh, MacDill Air Force Base is in Tampa. It's CENTCOM headquarters, says Tammy. I did not know that. All right. Like a tunnel of love, says Nullifidian. Awesome. Just checking the chat. What the sizzle says, I'm going into my personal cave now. Oh, all right. Well, you go into your little cave and we're going to check out, but we're going to see you tomorrow, Tuesday, David K. Johnston Day on the Mark Thompson Show. So that is going to be super fun and informative. And I'm always looking forward to it because I just like today, I love to hear what Sarah Kenzier has to say. And David K. Johnston is the same way. I look forward to his comments every week. Thank you again to everyone who has contributed to the After Party Live. You guys are amazing and I adore you. And I will see you right back here tomorrow on YouTube. For now, make it a great day, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.